gentlemen, on today's episode on Tales of Digital Transformation, we are privileged to have a distinguished guest with a wealth of experience at the intersection of finance and technology. Our guest is a chartered accountant and a company secretary with over 15 years of post qualification expertise in the IT and the ITES service industry. With a proven track record in delivering exceptional results, our guest has successfully navigated the challenges of technology services industry. Today's notable guest has a very strong focus on financial controls and a remarkable ability to collaborate effectively with non-financial stakeholders as well. As a seasoned professional, our guest is recognized for their effective communication, robust commercial acumen, and extensive experience in engaging with global executive level management within the matrixed corporate environments. I am privileged and excited to have Meera Choraria join us as our guest as we explore this journey of going through and understanding technology and transformation at a closed loop.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Meera, for that introduction.
How do you think the regulatory landscape has responded to the rise of fintech, especially when we talk about these innovations in the industry itself? How do you think the impact of, say, even being the growing prevalence of digital transactions, or how these companies have to up their game when we talk about the security measures, the data protection? I think this is such an important aspect, and hence comes the financial transaction, because everybody is worried about it, from an individual consumer to organizations. How do you see that part of the transformation journey to be?
That's an interesting question. So let me kind of, give you a certain perspective. Now, absolutely, I agree with great power comes great responsibility. And while we all want to adopt, and we all are adopting the technologies, but there is always a flip side to it. So I was at this particular conference 2 weeks back, where there was this question asked to the audience that in the world, which are the top three economies, and they were like US, and then another one, and then the third one was Japan. And they said that, but there is one economy which is, even bigger than Japan's economy. And which one is that? And everybody was wondering, which economy is bigger than Japan? And then he said that it is the cyber fraud economy. The whole economy around fraud is much, much bigger than even, the whole economy of Japan put together. So that's how risk prone environment we work in. And myself working in a security or a cyber security company, I can talk about the importance and how every day the technology, and we are trying to evolve with what kind of attacks can come in, what kind of things can come in. And by the way, myself, I had been prone to a cyber attack just last week through that Aadhaar enabled payment system. And 10K from my account gone without even, without sharing any password, without sharing anything. So that's the world that we are living in. And yes, so now the regulatory authorities are trying their best. And I'll just pick this example from my own thing. The whole Aadhaar enabled payment system, there were two aspects to it. One is, let's say the RBI says that, okay, you can use Aadhaar and take out money. But at the same time, the banks have put in a caveat saying that, okay, the maximum amount allowed is 10K. So they are trying to protect their customers just in case if there is. So I lost only 10K. Had it not been a cap which would have been put by the banks, this amount could have been anything, or whatever amount, my bank account would have been zero. So the regulatory authorities and the banks and the companies, they're all kind of working hand in hand. While there are certain technologies which are put in place, the banks and the companies are also trying to add in their own measures to see that their customers do not get impacted as much. Now, another example of the data protection thing that you brought up. I think you would have seen the new change in the data protection law.
Yes.
The fines have gone up to, I don't recall the amount, but it's huge. So any data that has been leaked, and if you are exposed and if you are found negligent on that, there is a huge penalty which the government has imposed. And that was needed. That was needed to be brought in, because the companies, the kind of data that we are dealing with today, with so many individuals, any kind of data leak, and if the companies are not investing right on their security system, uh, we can be prone to a big attack.
Absolutely. And I think that range looks like, with the bill coming in from data protection, 2023 was close to like ranging in between 50 to a maximum of a 250 crores. So yes, the numbers
Yes.
are quite big. And absolutely agree with you that hopefully that should be scary enough. But we also live in a world where every day with new rules coming in, there are also that many more hackers, who are there. The more the fraud, people like you and I who are actually well versed, yet land up becoming part of the frauds, isn't it? So now I'm going to come into a little more serious talk here because I think
Mhm.
like I mentioned earlier, you talk about tech and you understand the tech scenario quite well and the landscape that India is going through. In your experience over the past decade and a half, how have you observed the evolution of fintech? Especially India, you mentioned about Malaysia, Japan, China, different places that you've been working with. But if you want to specifically touch upon and share some experiences and anecdotes there.
Yes, interesting thing. So I'll just start off with, let's go a little bit back, even before, when I qualified, and let's take the 90s. I think if you talk about how many people had cell phones, it was less than a percent. I think it was 0.2%. And today, if I, let's say, walk into a room and ask how many people have cell phones, I think everybody will have one. So a journey from 0.2% to 100%, it happened in about 2.5 or 3 decades. And that's really soon. And that's how, soon the tech is evolving. And now with your mobile, you can do everything possible. And we all know that. Now, coming from, specifically, talking about how the technology companies are evolving, and then how finance has evolved with this whole technology. I still used to remember that there was a time when I used to audit, or when I used to prepare accounts. We used to really start prepare it in Excel, and we never had a lot of ERPs. That's only the big giants had it. Then slowly, when I moved to Wipro, I realized, okay, the importance of ERP, and a lot of things were automated. Entries were getting posted. One entry had all the impacts, was really posted in all places where it had to. And today, you don't even need to really post an entry. Uh, right from your bank statement, a transaction can be picked up and can be posted and can have its relevant impact to wherever it has to. Let's say, AP or AR and cash, or where or not. Now that's the evolution that we have seen over a decade and a half, where I have seen where at one point in time we had people processing invoices, and today we have tools which will pick up, which will have OCR readers, which will pick up data, match things, and straight away post an entry. Absolutely no human intervention. And we've gone that far. So the whole industry is evolving very fast. We can't even fathom the pace which the industry is evolving. And look at this, let's say, 10 years or 20 years back, the top companies were not, or maybe I go a little bit more back, let's say 30 years back, the top companies in the world, top five, not all of them were tech companies. Maybe only one, maybe Microsoft and one more. But today, if you kind of look at the top five companies, we have Apple, we have Alphabet, which is Google, and we have, and all of them, of at least five, or I would say of 10, at least 8 of them, of the top companies in the world, are tech companies. And even for that matter, if you kind of drill down India, a lot of companies, while taking away Reliance and the other giants, but even those big giants are now moving into technology. For example, Reliance Jio is going really big into storage and kind of cloud computing and all of that. You see Zerodha, a perfect
Hmm.
example of how a trading used to be done manually, and a lot of inputs, and how merged with technology, where today it's standing. It's they have really changed the game, and this is where how the technology has evolved, and technology along with finance has kind of made wonders.
And I think that draws us to the end. So thank you so much, Dheeraj, for being there and spending the time with us today, taking us through your insightful journey from how you started off to your experiences in your journey, plus your insights on the industry and, of course, on the leadership itself and the talking about the trends. So I really, really appreciate having to be able to drill down and get this quality time with you. Thank you so much, Dheeraj,